spot to advance to the USL Championship playoffs of Group H. Top two descend upon Patriots Point to battle for group supremacy. It's the Tampa Bay Rowdies against the Charleston Battery to open up your USL Championship weekend. Alongside me is Devin Kerr. I'm Chris Makoviak. Happy to have you with us for Friday night action here in the USL Championship. Two sides, Devin, that have proven they are the cream of the crop here in Group H.
Let's remove Atlanta United 2 and the Miami FC. The poor performances, unfortunately, have put them behind the 8 ball, and it's almost impossible for them to hit that number 2 spot. Charleston Battery and Rowdies, that's it. That's going to be your 1-2 punch. What is the order? That is the key question. If the Battery want a chance to get in there, they're going to have to continue on this stellar form that they've been in. 4-0-3 in their last 7 games. Ask any coach coming into a season, that 8 to 10 game window is the sweet spot of when they find out everything that has been pen to paper starts to play out on the pitch. Mike Anhauser's boys are playing nice on the road and at home. Love what they've done up top. Their front four may be the best rotation that Anhauser has had in the better part of a decade.
These two sides entertaining us with 2 previous matchups. This is their 3rd of 4 overall.
Remember, the only loss on the season for the Tampa Bay Rowdies is that 1-0 loss at Patriots Point back on August 29th. Of course, the Battery, 4-0-3 in their last 7. Their last loss was July 31st at Al Lang. So these teams know each other historically 4-3-2 all time in this series, favoring the Battery. And this is what it looks like right now. Charleston Battery, if it were to end today, they will play the Birmingham Legion. Rowdies would get Charlotte Independence. Remember, 1 plays 2 from the groups next to each other. That's G and H. If I'm the Battery, I want the Independence. If I'm the Battery, I want 3 points and a shot at that number 1 spot. Both Birmingham Legion and the Tampa Bay Rowdies are clicking along nicely.
The Battery have already seen Birmingham this season. They would love to see Charlotte coming up in the playoffs. Well, we'll see if they can make an extra inch towards the Group H title. Tampa Bay, of course, they want some room at the top. We'll see if they can get it. Coming up next on ESPN+.
That's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on your dreams. Wait, and if I didn't think it was worth one try, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly.
As a child, I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to give back to the community. Going to college, that's the first step. And the Life Scholarship just opened up doors because you're getting additional funding while I was continuing my education. I saw that there was a need in the community, so I started mentoring students within that community. I feel satisfied when they have that aha moment. It's so cool.
With HomeSmart from Home Telecom, you get the peace of mind of 24/7 security monitoring with all the convenience of home automation, starting at just $34.99 a month. Get smart control of your lights, locks, appliances, thermostat, garage door, and more. No matter where you are, the power is in your hands. We call that home away from home. For a limited time, save $50 on the HomeSmart Total Attack Pack with a free Skybell doorbell. HomeSmart, home automation and security from Home Telecom. Live life ahead.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
Welcome back here into Patriots Point. Charleston Battery and Tampa Bay Rowdies meeting for the 3rd time this season. The 2 leaders here in Group H battling for that home field advantage in the upcoming USL Championship playoffs. Now let's get set to check out our starting 11s presented by Bud Light.
Couple changes for Mike Anhauser's squad. Nicu Daly takes his seat, and the Grecian Stavros Serakostas will step in to the top. Nico Rittmeyer comes in as well, as there is an injury to Romario Piggott. Whether or not he is available for selection, game time decision. He does not make the 18. That will be a factor. But as we mentioned before, Chris, this front 4 for Mike Anhauser's squad, pretty interchangeable. They understand what's expected of each other. They fill the gaps nicely. Back 4 has been consistent. Of course, they also picked up Joe Kuzminski at the beginning of July after his stint on loan with Maccabi Haifa. He comes back in. He's been great. How about the opposition? Tampa Bay Rowdies, they are going to make 2 changes as well, and they're interesting ones. Dumbuya comes back in, and that's not really, you don't want to say it's unnoticeable. You know what he's capable of. He's just trying to get back to game fitness. Damo Duro comes in, and Doherty's going to slide out of the midfield. They're going to pivot him up top, and we're going to jump into this and ahead of the curve on the hydration break, what this looks like instead of what it used to look like. It's more flat in the middle. The back three, Lasso, Guillen, and Scarlett, I say this every single time I get the opportunity to talk about the Rowdies. They might be the best back line. There are some concerns here and there. Evan Laurel bails them out when need be, and Steinberger has really stepped in nicely with the injury to Juan Tejada.
Again, the starting lineup is presented by Bud Light. Two sides each a win apiece in this series as we get ready to get things going in the third matchup here, 2020, between the two clubs. United Soccer League and its And we're off and running here from Patriots Point, Charleston, Tampa Bay, battling for Group H supremacy. Again, alongside me, Devin Kerr. I'm Chris McCovic. Happy to have you with us. Kicking off the USL Championship weekend with quite the battle, Devin.
Obviously, both coaches understand exactly what's at stake. So do the players. And set your tempo early here for the Rowdies. You'd like some pressure on the road. Go after the battery. One thing that you look at this squad is they find ways to win. And sometimes you're almost stepping into the lion's den and poking him, if so, by grabbing an early goal. But be the aggressor, be on the front foot for the battery. I'd actually like to see what we usually see in the late game dramatics, where when they're fighting back into this or looking for that game-tying or go-ahead goal, they could get the same form and then replicate it for an entire 90 minutes. They'd probably be one of the best teams in the USL Championship. That's what they've been searching for in this resumption of play.
Early opportunity towards the top of the box. It's Lewis that puts it in, and right into the open arms in the end of Loro. As Tampa Bay builds up the field. 2 matches already this season between the two. 2-0 victory for Tampa Bay, and for Charleston, the 1-0 victory on August 29th. This goes out for a Tampa Bay throw-in. And in both of those matchups, the losing side only seeing 1 shot on target, so seeing one defense rise to that occasion could be the difference in this one once again. Out of play as it's off Patterson, and the Rowdies moving into the final third. Early first half goal, last time these two teams met by Charleston. Not a ton of possession in that match for them, under 40%, but getting it done as the match went on. Back to another throw-in. Wenzati. Hilton lays it in there, but the offside flag is up on the far side, and we'll see Kuzminski take the opportunity here. Kelly at the back, working it around. Both these sides giving up 1 goal allowed per game, less. For Tampa Bay, they're up among the best here in the USL, to say the least, at under 0.6. Only San Antonio has given up as few goals to this point. Long ball back to Kuzminski, who will clear this down the field. Out of play, and Charleston making some progress up the field. Look at Mike Anhauser, longtime Charleston Battery head coach, loving his front 4 this season.
It still astounds me, the stat that I heard a few weeks ago. Everybody talking about the resumption of play for the USL Championship, that Mike Anhauser is actually the 3rd longest tenured head coach in the world. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Everything that he's been able to do for the Charleston Battery, for the great game in the United States. Still pretty young, Mike Anhauser, just 51 years of age, but at the helm for the Charleston Battery since 2004, was an assistant with them from 99 to 04, and you can track his career.
Ball whipped in, headed away in there from Lasso as they'll get out of trouble.
Track it all the way back, Chris, to 1994 for his career at the Indiana Hoosiers. Spent 4 years in his senior level, over 100 caps, and been coaching ever since.
Ball sent in, open opportunity. Loro is there to scoop it up before Zaracostas got to it.
And this actually looks like it dropped off the arm of Zaracostas as well, so I'd be surprised if the referee would have blown the whistle there. Interesting little move up top already. Sechero and Zaracostas playing a bit flat, and I like it. It's causing an issue with the back three. Now, mind you, we're just 5 minutes in, and there's a lot of moving pieces still to play out. Plenty of space in the midfield, and look at how wide they've dragged him. Drop one underneath. That's a tracking of the back three with communication for Neil Collins' squad. It's going to have to be on point all night long.
Taken down, open opportunity, but too heavy of a touch by Gadula, and it's over to Loro. Coach Anhauser telling us this week that what really impressed him in the victory over Tampa Bay was that team defense, the pressing at the top, throwing some wrinkles at this three-man back of Tampa Bay.
They also made him chase a lot more, Chris, and you know, the Rowdies like to be on the ball. Of course, they counter with the best of them. They're great moving the ball from outside in. But they've got playmakers as well that are great at possession. Guys on the field tonight, Lewis Hilton, Damo Duro, they can slow the tempo down, speed it up, great distributors moving forward. And the Battery just removed that from their game. It's frustrating as a player when you're used to something and you're doing it very well, and all of a sudden that's taken off the table. Exactly what went down in that 1-0 win.
There's Kelly, losing it on that pass though. Doherty, there on the right side, will wing possession back over to Tampa Bay. Lasso, of course, the former Charleston Battery player, 3-year stint. Dumbuya getting the start on that right flank. Now it's his 6th of the season, 8 appearances total. Leo Fernandez tiptoeing the sideline, trying to keep this in play. He does against Gadula. Stuck here. Guillen helping him out. Heavy touch, Gadula. Choosing to send it up the field. Bit of a tug there, no call though. Now Hilton. Got it out wide to Fernandez, now working it towards the box. Fernandez once more. Cutting inside, good stop by Archer. And Kelly helping out. They end the threat. Lewis trying to work the give and go. And that will draw the whistle here in the 8th minute. Look at Neil Collins, his 3rd season at the helm.
It's going to be a track meet all night long on this near touchline, Chris. Leo Fernandez, Zico Lewis can bring up the pace with the best of them. I'm more interested also, to be fair, defensively, what Logan Gadula is going to be capable of in those runs against Leo Fernandez. We just got our first taste of it down in the corner. Fernandez definitely has the top end speed, but Gadula plays the angles really well. And just keep an eye on those 1v1 battles. Tampa relies on Leo Fernandez on the left-hand side a lot.
Tonight's injury report presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. Quite a few names up there for the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Kieran Mason out with that knee injury, requiring surgery. He's going to be done, and they're just hoping that more precautionary for Mario Pickett. That's why he's not listed there. Been so influential in this attack moving forward and holding the shape. Again, we mentioned all of these pieces on that front line, really 4. They can run about 7 deep in those positions. Pickett, though, working his way into the 11 nicely, staying on that left-hand side, and he will be missed tonight. All the more on Nico Rittmeyer to step in and take advantage of his opportunity out on the wing.
Yeah, Charleston coming off of that 1-1 draw at Miami FC recently, and Coach Anhauser telling us that really it was something they felt that was palpable when early in that match Pickett went down. They had to adapt to it. Of course, the sub in for him scored a goal, which helped, but it was a big missing piece, a player that has started all matches for them so far this season until tonight.
They were quite fortunate as well, to be fair, Chris. The Miami FC, as rough as their results have been, they have put together some quality run of play in that game against the Battery. They were the better team. Simple, but comes down to the time-old tale of, goals win games, and they couldn't hit the back of the net. It's something that has plagued them all season long. And when you have the belief in a team like the Charleston Battery, no matter how you're playing in that match, and they weren't at their best, Mike Anhauser admitted that. He said, we found a way to win. That's kind of been their MO all season long is, they'll give you 60 quality minutes, 70 quality minutes. Again, the full 90 has pretty much escaped them, but they can lock down the hatches, and they just find a way to will this team to victory. That's why they're sitting right where they're at on the hot heels of the Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Settled by Doherty. He's looking up the field. Steinberger on the run, but couldn't find it there. Yeah, plenty at stake, of course, tonight in this matchup. Charleston, as you mentioned, on the heels of the Rowdies. And the Battery, they do have a match in hand over Tampa Bay, so a win tonight, and they are 3 points back with a match in hand of that first place spot. That out of play. Laura will have the goal kick. Of course, the Rowdies, though, the opportunity on the road, 3 points, and they are really sealing things up here in Group H.
You continue down that road. Remember, including this match tonight, Battery have 3 in a row at home. Rowdies are 3 in a row on the road. So it's very difficult for them. Notoriously, they haven't been that great on the road. That seemed to have switched around in 2019 campaign. I mean, you're looking at a team, basically 4 wins was their all-time high for multiple seasons in a row. Finally, they turned the corner. They get 8 last year. And 12 out of 17, they earned points on it. So it's been much better. Of course, same thing this year, 3-1-1. It's good. It's not great. They're also finding a way to get results, but you can back them into a little bit of a corner here. You get a victory tonight. You're within 3. You mentioned still a game in hand. You have Miami FC and Loudoun right around the corner. Those are 2 very winnable matches. And then you finish the season off 2 away. And although the Rowdies are going to end up with the last game of the season at home against the Battery, that could become a point where the Battery are ahead of them, given the fact they go win the games that they showed outside of tonight.
Guenzati holding it up here for the attack. Rowdies moving forward. Intercepted in the end. Crawford is there. Former Rangers player, 4 years there. Gadula on the right side. Mike Anhauser raving to us about his play up the field, able to utilize his ability to get forward, be in the game offensively. He's going to be dealing with a lot of wingers on this near side to start. And that's something that Coach did praise about the previous result against the Rowdies, able to win those 1v1 battles for his fullbacks out there. Of course, Patterson on the other side this season. Stolen back by the Battery, and now ends in a free kick and a card as well to start us off. And it will be Duro that goes into the book. Native of Ghana.
You could argue a bit harsh inside of 15 minutes, but with the kick counter-attacking option, and he knows he gives it away. So much speed from Zaragoza's going the other direction. There's coverage right there, to be fair, from Jordan Scarlett, but it's that forearm shimmy coming right out over the shoulder from Zaragoza that gets him into trouble. Remember, there are a few players floating around the league right now that can run into disciplinary trouble.
Service from the left side, brought down. Loro is there once again. Charleston knocking here 15 minutes on, but unable to put a shot through. Loro starting all matches this season for the Rowdies. We spent the last 3 years with New York Red Bulls 2. Leading the league with 6 clean sheets individually. Of course, the Rowdies tied for that mark. This is a USL Championship high. Fernandez down the left side, beating Gadula. He'll whip in a short cross. Now Hilton centrally. Duro over there, fresh off his yellow card a few moments ago. Good stop by Patterson, wins it back for Charleston. And shake down the flank. Guillen. Former NCFC player, last 2 years. Archer. 3rd season overall with the Battery. Now Lewis. Good service here, an open opportunity. Back over to Lewis, but too heavy of a touch, and it's cleared. Fernandez keeps it alive. Guillen down the near side, 17th minute.
I love what we're seeing out of the Battery just inside 20 minutes here, Chris. Little intermittent press, sometimes going and challenging this back three at the same point in time. Sitting back right now, adjusting their lines pretty flat. And just forcing the Rowdies to build up there. It's easy pickings for Joe Kuzminski, and you know, that's a cause. They rely on the wingbacks so much. You're forcing other players from the Tampa Bay Rowdies to step out of their comfort zone, and that's something that they have struggled with. Again, another team that, you know, pretty similar to last year, to be honest. They've kind of eased their way through some of these games, not really overwhelming in some of their presences where, you know, you would expect them to be. Fantastic for some games, and other ones it's been a little bit vanilla, to be fair.
Here comes Lewis, tied for the team lead and created chances. Too heavy of a touch again there on the Bermuda native. Now Kelly chipping it on, but no one really there. Fernandez getting through the double team. Goes down, no whistle. It's back over to Kuzminski. Fernandez, second on Tampa Bay, and created chances with 16. Second in goals scored as well with 4. Finding his opportunities from the wing. This is 4th season with the Rowdies. After getting his professional career started with the Philadelphia Union system. Of course, spent a full year on loan with the then Bethlehem Steel back in 2016. Charleston dictating the pace a bit here. 19 minutes on. Here's Crawford. Gadula stepping up. Good ball in, but Lewis once again trapped by this Rowdy defense. Lasso, native of Raleigh, North Carolina. Quite the threat here. Last few years in USL Championship from the back. O-League player the last couple of years. And of course, doing it on different sides, all the more impressive. Scarlett stepping up. Was with Loro over at New York Red Bulls 2 last few years. When Zadi unable to find that one, they'll test out this near side flank. Once again, it's Fernandez. His 11th appearance of the season. But again, trapped back and unable to find the opportunity. Gadula takes it in. Lewis. Foul off the ball as the ball was coming in, and Charleston trying to take it quickly.
Jordan Scarlett is doing battle up top with Marcelo trying to play in the hold-up play. That big 6'5" frame. Nicely utilized there, and great vision by Zico Lewis trying to bring this ball back across his body. That lovely left foot. Once again, Logan Gadula, though, starting it all. The battle with Leo Fernandez. And there's a nice little pivot right now between Robbie Crawford and Angelo Kelly, trading places as this holding six coming off the back. Both outside backs, and Gadula and Patterson getting very high, stretching the wing backs of Fernandez and Dambuya, keeping them honest, allowing more space for the midfielders to drop back in and dictate what they want to do going forward.
Steinberger trying to build out of the back. And Tampa Bay finding some room here. And good retreat in the end by Patterson. Charleston Battery has an entire new line of merchandise for their new era here at Patriots Point. Go to shop.charlestonbattery.com for the latest jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and more. There's clearance in the box now, and Charleston on the attack 22 minutes in. Duel up the sideline for the throw-in. Spent last season with Hartford Athletic. Really 2 lone stints. Didn't see time with Phoenix. And found opportunities in Connecticut. Making 15 appearances. A cross in now from him. Headed away. Patterson steps up. Left side of the box. Still Patterson. Out of play, and that was touched in the end. It's a corner kick for the Battery.
And taking their time here in their build-up. Love the patience here from the Charleston Battery. Poking and prodding, asking many questions of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Watch the cutback, electing to go to the near post. Quality flick of the wrist by Evan Laurel.
Crawford on the end of this one. Tied for the team lead and created chances with 20 this season. See if we can find one here for him. Back post sent in, headed away. Lasso was there, and another corner here for the Battery.
Was another corner kick coming up for your Charleston Battery.
It was Lasso that stood tall in that first matchup between the two sides. 11 clearances to help along that 2-0 victory for the Rowdies back in July. Service in. Back here, the volleyed attempt, but not getting all of that one. It's a goal kick for the Rowdies. Since 1947, Select has been the leader in soccer ball quality and innovation. Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship and many of the elite leagues throughout Europe. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Goal kick back to the Battery as they'll start from the back. Their win against the Rowdies, I only saw them get 38% of the possession, but tonight so far they're seeing a majority of it. Tampa Bay, a little bit of a block here 24 minutes in.
It was meaningful though. It was the chasing, and I alluded to it earlier where, you know, statistically you say, well, 38%, he just talked about how they had so much quality possession, but it's that word quality that you have to really hone in on, Chris, because they made them chase so much. And it's one thing to go side to side, but you're hovering right around 40%, but they're doing 30, 40-yard sprints. It's really difficult as a defender to maintain that type of pace for a full 90 minutes.
Crawford looks up, fires one, cleared in time by Guillen. Player down, and a foul is called. It is Guillen who took all of that one. There, Costas also down. The stoppage of play brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine. But both players, luckily, back on their feet after a heavy collision. Kelly on the near side, whiffs on that one. Fernandez keeps it in play. Through ball. Steinberger there, but so are the defenders of the Battery. Corner kick now for the Rowdies.
Stuff coming up through, and it was difficult. They just didn't have the width, the Rowdies, that they wanted. Leo Fernandez had come back, won a nice little tackle, and then Steinberger comes over. There's no pivot point outside. The Battery basically force your hand, go right down the middle. Otherwise, Hernandez cuts it in on the right. But Fernandez wants it on that left foot of his. Still get a corner out of it.
Here's Hilton, tied for the team lead in assists and leading the team in created chances, 25. Lobs this one, backside of the box, headed away. It was Kelly that was on that one. Now, Charleston, they were trying to move quickly down the field, but they'll move it back to Kuzminski. 4 starts entering today. This is 5th, of course, after he returned from Maccabi Haifa on loan in the recent spring months. Didn't find an appearance, but in good form as he returned for the Battery. Cachero whips this one out of play, but Mike Anhauser saying he might not have seen any playing time, but he was able to work on his footwork and really looked improved in training.
A lot of training, good experience, and we still added depth to the team. Quality in Joe Kuzminski on the reverse side of the ball. His boys up top, Cachero. Zeta-Costas have been busy. Zico Lewis. For Joe Kuzminski, pretty comfortable. Obviously, he's spent plenty of time here past couple of seasons. Only back to 2017, and just a seamless transition, although Phil Brino did do well for himself. Only 8 goals given up in the 7 appearances. There's just a different sort of leadership and a comfortability for this back line when you know that Joe Kuzminski's back there. And he's been able to do so much over his tenure with the Charleston Battery. And, you know, you see new faces, you've got the rebrand, but it's always nice to see some of those familiar ones as well. Speaking of which, all the rebrands that have gone on around USL, you a big fan of the Red Sox, Chris?
I was actually kind of surprised by the Red Sox, but it's a nice little, you know, punch in your eyes when you're watching.
I like them. I'm a fan, you know.
I like them.
Outside the color scheme, and I don't mind it at all.
Adds a bit of color out there with the black and yellow. Crawford now, and line, crosses it back in, still floating free. Lasso unable to get his header to it. Steinberger trying to find this transition attack for the Rowdies, but yet again, Charleston there to meet it. And it goes out here on the near side, throwing for Charleston.
Well, this is actually Leo Fernandez. Watch the little shove that he gives on the back shoulder here. Lasso out of position, up over the backside. There it is. The right arm of Fernandez saves this goal. It's the tiniest of touches, but Aaron Guillen had tracked to the outside on the quick counter. He gets caught out. Fernandez steps back in. And to be fair, Forrest Lasso could have been a bit deeper. It's not terrible positioning, but the wingback and Leo Fernandez saves the day.
Back with the Rowdies here, 29 minutes in. And a battle of the top two here in Group H. Tampa Bay, a 6-point lead over Charleston, but keep in mind, Charleston, they do have the match in hand, so 3 points today would go a long way to making Group H very interesting down the final few weeks. Now Kelly, taking right back, Hilton. So far, Charleston dominating the created chances, 6 shots, 2 on target for the home side. Tampa Bay yet to register one. They've been in and around the fringes of the box, but not really punching through. And Shake moving in near side. Archer now, Gadula. Now Kelly stepping up.
Notice the respect given by the Rowdies to the Charleston Battery. Neil Collins knows exactly where they are at their best, and it is all those attacking options up top. A lot of rotation tonight. And the likes of Lewis, Sachero, Zeta-Costas, and Rittmeyer, just name a few. Of course, there's a nice little forward and back motion between Kelly and Crawford in the midfield. And they're just allowing the game to stay in front of them. They're at least trying to. Notice a lot has come from the wings, and they're happy to push it out down into the channels, let these balls be whipped in. Much more than the opposite, where we've seen some ridiculous strikes coming out of the likes of Zeta-Costas and Zico Lewis over the course of the season. Basically human highlight reels at this point in time.
Now Lewis over this corner kick. 2 assists this season, whips it in, back post over everyone though, as Kelly couldn't find it. He lets it go out, another corner kick for the Battery.
Just notice, Chris, that's the 3rd time that we've seen that long whipped in ball all the way to the back post. Saw Sachero on there one time, Zeta-Costas the second, and now Angelo Kelly. Same look, just with different people. Tampa Bay Rowdies really have yet to pick it up. There's a nice little header, but player's still wide open.
Crawford will take this one. Another nifty play from the training ground. Lewis from deep, fires, deflected, it's in! And offsides, the flag did go up. You saw the appeals, and the lucky deflection not going the Battery's way. Fernandez goes down, and a free kick to Tampa Bay. Let's take a look at that last opportunity, Devin.
It's a little deflection, and you get caught ball watching in situations like this. The back line starts to move up. Great idea. As you mentioned, something they definitely worked on in practice. Last-ditch effort, little touch. You know, it looks like he's in an offside position, to be fair. Forrest Lasso stands true and through, is exactly where the positioning is. And that back post run, well-deserved hydration break. These guys trading blows right now.
Patterson was looking for his first goal of the season there, didn't get it, but Charleston with plenty of opportunities so far as they head into the later stages of this match. Now, Devin, you mentioned it a few times so far, but you've noticed some new formation tactics out there for the Rowdies.
Basically, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, their idea is to play a 3-5-2. Now, the back three has been great. The middle pivot is what you have to go back to. Andrew Tenari in 2019, he played the top of the triangle that you're seeing right there. Injury and never really recovering into that form. They've tried to figure out how to close that gap. Zach Steinberger stepped in, Jan Ekra, Kevin Mendoza. They've even pivoted Juan Tejada and Seba Guenzati. It hasn't worked. So what have they done? They've flattened out the midfield into 4. They've gone 3 up top. So what you're looking at tonight, Doherty, Guenzati, Steinberger, it's almost like trial by fire, a guilt by committee, if you will, asking someone to always occupy that space. They just haven't been able to find that one true playmaker.
Tampa Bay back out onto the field, and playmaking not really showing up so far tonight. We are just 34 minutes in, but no shots or shots on target, of course, at this point. A role they will certainly look to fill as we head deeper towards the playoffs. In the second half, we may see one of those options, and Adam Najam, as we watch this free kick taken. McGeehan will send us through the back. Van Schaik getting the head to it. Steinberger laying it off. Doherty. Guenzati looking for some help on the wing. Gambuya, former Phoenix man. Trying to find some room, but shielded well by Patterson. Now they try out the left flank with Guillen. Fernandez. Duro. Guillen keeps it alive. Lasso. Rowdies finding some room here to work. Cross in, low one. Gadula has to take care of it, and it's out on this near side for a corner kick.
Notice the buildup, though, Chris. Great little recognition by Jordan Doherty. And coming in, you talked about the lineup. You said you probably won't see him that high. So, no, he'll tuck down in, and he'll challenge the midfield of the Battery. Exactly what he does. Good combination play. They finally get Dembuya down into the corner. Just can't link up with Steinberger Guenzati. Not yet, anyway.
Corner kick for the Rowdies. Their second so far tonight. Whipped in, back post, headed up. A foul is called on that initial collision. Lasso was there. Don't miss a minute of action in 2020. Sign up today and get alerts all year long by following your club on ESPN.com. Search for the Tampa Bay Rowdies or Charleston Battery, and then click the follow button to keep up with the latest news and scores. Plus, of course, get reminders on your team's next match. Go to ESPN.com now and click follow for your club. Van Schaik. Ball launched in, head away by Lasso. He leads Tampa Bay in clearances. High boot, no call. As Patterson wins this on back for Charleston.
Gets away with one there. That's a foul on Guenzati. A little step in. Really impressed by the Charleston Battery so far. Really patient on the ball. They're not forcing anything. Conversely, the Rowdies just sitting back. And notice neither team willing to make that mistake. You know, they're not overstepping their boundaries just yet. Very calm, collected, trying to find a way to work their magic. And the way the game's playing out right now, it's going to be an individual piece of brilliance to put your team out in front.
You mean someone like Zaracostas?
There you go. Yeah, I mean,
So
if he's
far.
shown us anything, he can do it. Of course, Zico Lewis throws his name into that hat. Still think right now the trump card could be Mauro Sacchero in his height. Forrest Lasso can leap out of any building for sure. But the way that the shape is taking with Sichero and Zaracostas dropping flat in, it's spreading Aaron Guillen and Jordan Scarlett away from Lasso. So there's little pockets right there. That asks Damoduro and Lewis Hilton to help out a bit more. But I'll take, outside of the matchup against Lasso, I'll take Sichero over any one of the other four all day long.
Charleston, as we mentioned, are missing Piggott today, leading the team in shots entering this match. 20 in total, 7 of those on target. It's Lewis, though, that leads the team in shots on target with 11 this season. Rittmeyer settles it back heel, but that is easily cleared. Not far enough, though. It's Crawford on the left side. Crawford, ball in, back post. Sichero letting it back over, but no one's there. Now Fernandez stuck in traffic. Foul called.
We got a long way to go here. I'll tell you what, I've been really impressed, Chris, by the Charleston Battery and their press. You mentioned
Fans, as a reminder,
been
please
touch and
keep
go, and
at
that's
least 6
calculated
feet
for
of
sure.
social distance if you leave your
Long
seats
night,
at
a lot of
halftime.
movement from the Tampa
Please
Bay
only
Rowdies that's
consume food or
constantly
beverages at a
challenging
picnic
the pace
table
out on the
or at
wings.
your designated seat location.
The Rowdies have
While
struggled a
not
little bit,
consuming refreshments, it is our policy that
especially
you
coming
must
from
keep
the
a mask
outside back
on at
position
all
in
times
Aaron
inside
Guillen
the
and Jordan
stadium.
Scarlett.
Thank you for your compliance.
Little 2-3-man games pushing you into a corner. They've been able to link up with Leo Fernandez a little bit, but even when he gains possession and turns, he's 1v2, no support, has to turn and go the other way.
Adula heading it up. Kelly a slip. Out of play, which way does this go? And it is staying with the Rowdies. Hilton. Gives it right back on the contact from behind. No whistle, though. As it's Crawford stepping up. Loro. Headed back, not much there. Kuzminski sending it out of play. And to your point, Devin, that's exactly the game plan Coach Anhauser told us about from their previous win, 1-0 in this very stadium against Tampa Bay, trying to really win those battles on the wings and isolating their opponents, and of course with the press at the top.
And just notice right now, past 10 minutes, possession for the Rowdies has really been side to side. That vertical threat almost non-existent, and you do need to start to challenge in other areas. This is one of them. There's the good move by Lewis Hilton, and notice it doesn't end up with a finished product coming off of Steinberger. Good little step up on the backside by Van Schaik. But it's going to take a Lewis Hilton or a Damoduro coming out of the midfield, showing a different look than what we've seen so far, because right now it's pretty predictable. Moving the ball outside, looking for a long ball up top, and then reciprocating down into the corners.
Gadul, a nice run towards the end line, goes down, but not enough there for the whistle. According to Kevin Broadley, it's a goal kick. Three minutes until we hit first half stoppage time. Our Patriots points. Now the Rowdies finding a turn. Get it to Guillen on this near side once more. Now Fernandez. Zadi unable to get to that one. Van Schaik with the clearance. And there's some open room to roam, though, on the near side. Ball whipped in. Flies free, but the header well wide as Guenzati was off balance. And Shake and Charleston working out of the back. And Shake making his 10th appearance this season. Last year, 104 clearances. Missed 34 starts for the Battery. Regular once again back there. Now Archer stepping up. Whips one in there, and Tampa Bay, they have to deal with it. This will go out on the near side, and guess what? Another corner kick for the Battery.
Make some noise, fans. A corner kick coming up for your Charleston Battery.
It's Lewis that will take it. This is their 5th corner kick of the first half. Getting the option of Crawford near side. They'll go that route. Crawford loops it in there. Headed up, back to Lewis. Gives it away. But Charleston able to get it back. Now Crawford lining into this one. Cross in a bit too low. It's cleared. Out for another opportunity. Corner kick.
There will be a minimum of 2 minutes at a time.
2 minutes of stoppage time in our first half. Brought to you by MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
That's a corner kick coming up for your Charleston Battery.
Corner number 6 now for the Battery. And bodies literally falling inside the box. And we will have a talking to.
I had the shout from Anhauser's scored on the sideline saying he's inside the hash. He's much closer than 10 yards for sure. Little 2-man game. And they're asking for it. I'll take my time. I'll look at the referee. Walk it off. There you go.
Crawford. Right boot sent in, headed away for now, and it is cleared. Kelly trying to keep the attack alive. Gadula on the left now. Met by Fernandez. Back to Kelly. Loops it in. Not much happening there. Crawford. And pause in action, ate about 45 seconds out of our stoppage time, so may see a bit more than 2 here as we take it down. Through ball, still alive at the end line. No foul, Fernandez takes over. Only cleared so far, though. Patterson whips it in. Lewis, top of the box. A bender, but off the mark from that top corner. And not much extra time there beyond the 2 minutes as we hit the half here, 0-0, Tampa Bay and Charleston.
Definitely have to give the advantage to the Battery so far. Liked what the Rowdies started off with, but the Charleston Battery have battled back into this, and they definitely look the aggressor. They're more comfortable moving forward. Their back line with Van Schaik has been fantastic. For the Tampa Bay Rowdies, the evolution that is that attacking roll intent has to pretty much start to take shape for your entire squad if you want to make a run at this in the second 45.
0-0 at the break. Third meeting between the two, and it definitely looks like the Group H leaders in battle here. We'll be back with our halftime report as Devin will dish it out on the other side of this break.
So how is it?
Great.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete, you're obsessed, you're in love, you're in pain, spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat. You're not alone. You're supported, pushed, tested, tried, true, broken, fixed, and put back on track to do it all again. Your road is long. On open highway, completely secluded, jammed with traffic, horns blaring, sirens screaming, speed limit, near misses, head-on collisions, body shops, rest stops, so many tolls to pay. Your destination isn't a place, it's a record, a dance, a feeling. Hands in the air, stands on their feet, joy all around. Because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health, Sports Medicine.
You need more layers, diagonal layers.
I got it, Ron. Thanks.
Leave him alone, Dad. Oh, honey, you should use ice blocks instead of cubes.
No, Bud Light Seltzer goes on top.
Diagonal layers.
Did you pre-chill the Bud Light lemonades?
Need more ice.
And diagonal layers.
I mean, if you're gonna do it right.
I don't need my hands getting cold.
Why don't you try using the Plumsky method?
Brings out the citrus notes.
Dad?
Gotta crush the ice, son.
Okay, I'm out.
What's his problem?
Whenever packing the cooler really matters, there's a Bud Light there.
Welcome back here into Patriots Point. 0-0 between Charleston and Tampa Bay. Well, it's Friday night. That means there are midweek matches. Let's see what Devin is cooking up on the dish.
Week 12 midweek action. You know who it is. Chef Kerr back with a little bit of sauce in the dish. Let's heat it up. Austin Bold, FC Tulsa, played 3 days before. They drew. What would be the outcome of said match this time around? Dario Suarez would have something to say about it. 17th minute from DaCosta. Book it. Oh, look at that. 20 minutes later. 5 goals in his last 3 games for Suarez. Just let your soul glow on the back post, buddy. He's been fantastic for FC Tulsa. But the problem is, see, 90 minutes, and we've talked about this before, you have to play the second 45 minutes. In the second half, they get a penalty just before halftime, Guadarrama, and Fabian Garcia in the 52nd minute. Numero uno, my friend, but that's the second on the night for Austin Bold. They get it to 2-2. Draw. Vanilla. I need some chocolate. I need something spicy to get it going in that group. We haven't seen it. Let's go to Group B. Indy 11, Sporting Kansas City 2. No Neville Hackshaw, no Tyler Pasher, but there's Nick Boone to infinity and beyond. How good is this from their striker up top? And then another first, Jeremy Raffaello. Little touch, little toca, little tap on the back post. Watch this free kick, near post, book it. Controversy, there is an equalizer. Someone decided to flop on the back post. Referee doesn't give the foul. 2-1 Indy 11. They get Lipa FC on Wednesday the 16th to battle for supremacy in Group B in the #1 spot. Speaking of, let's combine it. Group A and B. We'll just call it ABBA and have a little fun. Sean Okoli. Learn the name, remember the name, live it, love it, because he's been nothing short of spectacular for Orange County. They get their goal. Oh no, red card. Red card, Roro Lopez goes down. Okoli scores, they win, right? Wrong. 79th minute. Yeah, this should be called to Belmar, but Dark Formella gets the little touch in. There's no way it's going to be completed, right? Bijev plays the villain on the near post in the 87th minute. Sacramento Republic, 6 games in a row. Not even San Antonio FC have done that in the USL Championship this year. Do not speak on Mark Breeks' boys. Don't sleep. No sleep till Brooklyn. Or wherever the final's going to be. There's no team in Brooklyn yet, so we got to figure that one out. Portland Timbers 2. How are you? Nice to see your victory of the season. North Carolina FC, Memphis 901 FC. A doozy of a match. Promise you this. Both of those teams are out in their groups, but North Carolina FC did not look good. Memphis 901 FC did not look good. They get 3 points, though. Colorado Switchbacks FC, still no clue. Real Monarchs, 2 in a row. Hello. And San Diego Loyal, bag 3. But if you multiply that times 2, you get 6, which is Red Bull 2 got against the 0 of Philadelphia Union 2, who also mimicked the 0 from Los Dos. Who knew? Who knew that you could get 9 goals in 2 games? Landon Donovan did, and John Wolenek did. Well, I'm Chef Kerr. I got the pop. Week 12 midweek. This is the dish. Appreciate you joining us. See you out there.
Getting set for the second half between Charleston and Tampa Bay. We'll have more news and notes from around the USL Championship coming up after this.
The United Soccer League and its 47th championship in League One clubs stand united in support of diversity, inclusivity, equality, and compassion. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can create change. Together, we are united against racism.
Over to Richards. Left foot, and Brett Richards with an amazing strike. On the right foot, a curling effort. Oh, what a goal for the Battery!
Saved and cleared off the line. What a play by Tampa.
Thought he might have been pulled back. Play continues. Shot is lined up here. Oh, it's fantastic. Sensational. Loads this to the back post. What a save. Romero denies a Roscoe. Nice recovery. Suarez eyes on Restrepo. Ooh, fires one home. FC Tulsa strikes first in the opening half hour.
For this organization.
Here's a shot, and it curls near post at the death.
Welcome back here into Charleston, South Carolina. 0-0 between the Battery and Rowdies as we get set to check out news and notes from around the USL Championship. And we have our monthly awards in store. Devin, along with some great history here, once again for Dane Kelly.
Surprising, right? Shocking. No, come on. He's been doing it forever. Dane Kelly bags his 4th career hat trick. That is now best in the USL Championship as the leader of the pack. That makes sense, right? I mean, the way we say it. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. He's also the all-time leading goal scorer in the USL Championship. Al Marcina. San Antonio FC still has not lost a game. Saw an interesting one. What was happened first? RGV getting a win away from home or San Antonio FC losing? I'm going to go San Antonio FC losing. Junior Flemings. They need him, by the way. There is an interesting stat, and I know this is a tease, but you're going to have to hang in with us. You want to know what it is? Watch the Phoenix game tonight. If he doesn't score, they're in trouble, and we'll just say that.
Yeah, Phoenix taking on Las Vegas later tonight, and a big one tomorrow night. We talked about the Group H leaders. There's the Group G leaders.
A lot going on. Check out Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Hard Rock Athletic, Birmingham Legion, Charlotte Independence. That's the 1-2 swing in Group G. Remember, Charlotte Independence have a game in hand on Birmingham Legion. They grab a win there. They're only 1 point back, and the game in hand, 4 games to go for them. It would only be 3 for the Birmingham Legion. And another big one, Louisville City hosting St. Louis. All of these groups coming down to the wire. It's really been impressive, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a fun one. And final 45 minutes in front of us from Charleston. And you see how close this is, how big 3 points might be for either side.
You know, the gap goes to 9 with a Rowdies win. You get it to 3 with a Battery win. And that's why I say mathematically, it's still there if you lose, right? But think about what you have to do. You go down 9, and you've got 4 games to play. You have to get maximum points and assume that the Rowdies lose all final 3 of their games. I don't see that happening. That's why I call tonight a must-win game for the Charleston Battery if you want a shot at that #1 position.
They're lining themselves up very well to try and get that win. They have dominated the shot count to this point. We'll take you through stats and highlights from our first half coming up after this.
Get your ice cold Bud Light, sell to hip. Get your ice cold. Oh, Bud Light, sell to hip. Who needs to?
All the color in the world. I'm uncovering.
Bring color to life with the very best paint, only at your Sherwin-Williams store.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete. You're obsessed. You're in love. You're in pain. Spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity. Because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat. You're not alone. You're supported, pushed, tested, tried, true, broken, fixed, and put back on track to do it all again. Your road is long. On open highway, completely secluded, jammed with traffic, horns blaring, sirens screaming, speed limit, near misses, head-on collisions, body shops, rest stops, so many tolls to pay. Your destination isn't a place, it's a record, a dance, a feeling. Hands in the air, stands on their feet, joy all around. Because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health, Sports Medicine.
Get your ice cold Bud Light, set to hip. Game's almost over. You know what that means? Last call! Just kidding. Your house, your rules. Stay responsible. Bud Light, hey!
Welcome back here to Patriots Point. 0-0 at the break between the Battery and Rowdies as we get set for the second 45. Let's take a look at how we got here with our first half highlights. Devin, whole lot of Charleston Battery to say the least.
I mentioned coming in that if they could just replicate what they do at the end of a match and try and instill that in their squad for a full 90 minutes, they could be one of the best in the USL Championship. They got it going in the first minute. Good little run up back to the top by Zico Lewis, who drifted it from that outside wing. Gets his first shot off. Test Evan Laurel. Keep the goalkeeper honest. Let's run it back in the 5th minute. More pressure being applied by the home squad. Look at all the bodies in the box. Again, a great job by the Rowdies goalkeeper. Quick off the line. Recognizes that Guillen is out a little bit. This time it's Zaracostas with the pressure. Now, this was really close to being the opener for the Charleston Battery. But check out Leo Fernandez on the backside. Gudula would have hit the back of the net. Instead, well done by the winger. Just at that outstretched arm up over the backside of Forrest Lasso. He's got coverage and the back shoulder of Aaron Guillen. Good stuff. Gudula would hit the back of the net. Zico Lewis, little touch. He unleashes from about 25 out, and it's a little deflection here. Offside. Bring it back. Let's run it back and see exactly where he is. Upon further review, there's a little touch, and check when it comes out. Offside on the backside for sure. AJ Patterson had drifted all the way back over. They don't get their goal. They were the better team in the first half. Even the possession number creeped up, and you talked about it, 25, 30 minutes in? They were hovering just under 40%. That started to go the other direction. They've been the benefactor of the better run of play, but my only concern is they have nothing to show for it. 9 shots, 2 on target. You hold the Rowdies to 1 overall shot. This has to be a game. Go out, continue to set that tone that you did in the first half. You don't want to let the Rowdies grab one, and then all of a sudden you're fighting uphill.
Yeah, exactly. The difference in these two matchups between these clubs this season has been that shots on target category. The losing club in each battle, only 1 shot on target, and a lot better stats, to say the least, for the winner in each fixture. Of course, the Battery, we mentioned it before, 3 points, and they will be 3 back of Tampa Bay with a match in hand. And you see already how important it is to change things up offensively. Here's 2 subs for you.
I would imagine with Johnson coming on, that would be Dabuya coming off. Didn't really have the balance, and we talked about how important the outside wings are for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Leo Fernandez active in the opening 15, 20 minutes or so, but Mustafa Dabuya still not in game fitness, and you can see the 1-2 push that has been left and right respectively, just not there. Collins going to the bench, and I think the key thing to think about is with this 5 sub rule, you get it in 3 windows. Halftime's not a window. So he's still got 3 more subs after Kyle Murphy coming on as well, and he can do it in 3 separate windows.
Tampa Bay immediately on the attack. This stays in play on the end line. Shot comes, a save. No, it is a goal kick. It was ruled by the assistant referee. This comes back. Exactly. My question for you, Devin, is Kyle Murphy comes on. How does that change the front line for Tampa Bay?
With the departure of Zach Steinberger, you lose one of those technical players in the likes of Zach Steinberger, but you gain some speed and definitely a vertical threat in Kyle Murphy. Expect Guenzati to drop into that pocket a bit more here.
Kelly, cross attempted out. It's another corner kick for Charleston.
Just prior to the match, you and I discussing what this shape has started to look like. And, you know, you said, what has Kyle Murphy been like in your opinion? I said, you know, he's probably behind Wad Tejada, their next best striking option. Of course, Tejada hurt, and that meaning Guenzati's the #1. With Kyle Murphy in there, Jordan Doherty, you know, he's a technical player as well, so is Guenzati, but Murphy can stretch this back line.
Olsen in back heel, and it is clear just before the end line. Out of play and back to the battery.
And everything in transition, whether it's been the lack of build-up play on the right or trying to find an outlet on the left, they haven't been able to go down the middle. That's one concern. But number two, there's no long stretch up over the top. A lot of this is a team that's compacted defensively, and when you try to go the other way, that outlet pass isn't there. Kyle Murphy now gives you that option.
Murphy 1 goal so far this season, 13-4 assists for Loudoun last year, one of the more veteran players, to say the least, for Loudoun United in 2019. Now Archer on the near side. 31 appearances over the last 2 seasons for Charleston, starting all matches here in 2020. Now long ball not finding much success. Guenzati couldn't get on the end of that one. Now it's back to Patterson and Kuzminski. Some pressure from the Rowdies. There's Johnson coming up, who just came on, the Toronto native. 2 goals, 2 assists this year in his 9 appearances so far. The Rowdies still letting Charleston work it around the back a bit, giving them some room, trying to absorb.
Notice the separation with the strikers up top from the Rowdies, though. Jordan Doherty dropping into the pocket I just talked about. Guenzati can do the same, but now you're looking at, you know, a 2-headed monster up there, and Kyle Murphy and Seba Guenzati sitting flat. What they're trying to do is cut off this outlet pass that has been Angelo Kelly and Robbie Crawford. They've done a fantastic job of interchanging in that 6th spot, helping out the back line moving forward. But right now, that triangle has cut off that pass, so it's forcing the battery to the outsides.
Good spin there. Gadula staying on his feet in the end. Now Lewis. Over to Kelly. Van Schaik, the Portland native. 4 years at the University of Portland, and also seeing time in USL League 2 with Portland U23. Lewis, a nice run, but it's ended in time by Guillen. Now Murphy with a good opportunity. He has to try and keep it in play. And does with a volley or two. Duro in that first half, the lone player on either side with a yellow card. Here he is on the ball. Kelly fighting in there. Couldn't win it back as it's back over to Lasso. Bit of hold up for Murphy. Back over to Johnson. Johnson, 8 assists last year for the Rowdies. Lasso. Both these sides, top 2 teams in Group H. Winner of the group will see the 2nd seed out of Group G. Of course, 2nd seed in this group will see the winner of Group G. Right now, Birmingham and Charlotte going at it for that top spot. They play tomorrow night, as we mentioned on our halftime report. Charleston, having seen Birmingham and Charlotte this season, Ball sent over by Johnson. Guenzati knocked down by Kelly. Launches into this one, and it is a free kick just outside the box. They're saying a handball there, according to Kevin Broadley.
Yeah, he's trying to play advantage here for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, but understands that the chance isn't going to sit up as nicely as they'd like it to for Tampa Bay going the other direction. Watch it pop up off the pitch right here. Boom, right there, off the hip. Comes off Angelo Kelly. And then Seba Guenzati trying to get a last-ditch effort. Kuzminski has it covered. Dangerous set-piece opportunity now. I feel like the marksman, Lewis Hilton, will fancy himself with his right foot. Of course, Guenzati can throw his name into the bag as well. Leo Fernandez with his left foot. A lot of option here for Neil Collins. And the problem for Kuzminski is you have to keep an eye on all of them because of its central location. Throw 5 into the wall, spread them nice and wide. You can't cheat whatsoever here. You got to trust the wall and the boys in front of you, proper communication, because it looks like either Hilton or Fernandez is going to step up and hit this. I actually like Hilton on this better. You would expect the left footer, to be honest, but throw it on the right, bring it back across the goalkeeper's body. I'm going for that far corner if I'm Lewis Hilton.
4-man wall for the Battery. Only one shot so far tonight for the Rowdies. Certainly they should find one here. Fernandez and Hilton over the ball. Fernandez hits it and over the crossbar. Goal kick, Charleston.
Not the greatest of efforts from Leo Fernandez, and obviously a very talented ball striker. Just in situations like that, for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, a lot of this has been a bit predictable tonight, Chris, and we've talked about that before. Show a different look, you know, something fresh to spice things up. When in doubt, spice up your life.
Back over to the Rowdies. Coach Anhauser talking about that a little bit to us. Facing these squads in the group, obviously, so many times this season, and saying because of the success, he hasn't had to worry about adapting too much away from the Charleston style of play, but says a couple of the other group members, Miami FC, of course, trying to adapt to them. Meanwhile, the other way, it's a goal for Lewis, divvying up the traffic in the box, and he sends it home.
Charleston
and he talked about
Battery
paving the success, Devin,
number 10,
with the shots. Well, they do right here in the 54th.
You get an opportunity to dive into this guy's background, Chris, and the Bermuda National. Trials and tribulations would be putting it kindly, but one of the most talked about stories coming into the Gold Cup of 2019. But the reason they were talking about him was his play. Look at the spin-off and recognition of the space available to him. Pitches out from the wing, Cicero drops in, just opens up a massive gap in the middle, and then you get Forrest Lasso headed to his left. He's got no weak side coverage. The little stutter step, Zico Lewis owns you. You could put it anywhere you want, and he sticks it away for the first one of the night.
Lewis coming up huge here with his 5th of the season, a team-leading 5th. And Charleston now in line to really contend for that top spot in Group H. As the Rowdies now trying to respond, down once again at Patriots Point this season, 1-0.
Patience, right? Patience, the build-up. Trust what you did in the first half. They've replicated it inside of 10 minutes. The sparring partner of the Tampa Bay Rowdies, a bit more present here in the second half, but still not what you would expect if you're Neil Collins. You want more out of your squad, and just such good rotation coming from Mike Anhauser's boys. Coming in, we told you, the front four might be his best ever. And I'm recognizing the positions themselves, but the depth within those players. You move everything. Cicero, Zeracostas, Rittmeyer, Lewis, Piggott, Nicu Daly, Bashua. The list goes on and on. He has the luxury of employing all of their trades in whatever manner he wants, and so far, they've been successful.
Goal number 19 on the season for the Battery, and it comes on their 10th shot of the evening. Rowdies, so at 2 overall. Neither on target, trying to find something here. Doherty met by the double team. He draws the foul. Free kick to the Rowdies. Hilton wanted to quickly take it. This will be brought back. Doherty. Kelly and Charleston, they win it back. Rittmeyer, a nice touch there. Loro. Swing and a miss by Archer. Foul called. That might be our second card of the evening, as a yellow is out of pocket for Kevin Broadley. And it is Leland Archer into the book for the 4th time this season.
It's got to be here. Once again, Kyle Murphy, he's taking a few looks here in the second half in that hold-up position we talked about. Keep trying to feed it to him. This one comes off a deflection, but that arm out swinging. Bit of negligence by Leland Archer that we haven't seen in the match tonight. Too far away to go direct to goal here, and still Kyle Murphy and him exchanging a few blows at the top of the 18 right in front of our referee. But now's your chance. Try and take advantage. Get Forrest Lasso up there. Big body Jordan Scarlett. Lasso, such a talented defender, but he's so good in the air. In recent matches, everybody sees the rotation of what he's capable of. Header on the back post. He doesn't go direct to goal. He'll knock this back across as well. Great distributor when need be. Unselfish player when it comes to that. And always one of the focal points from set piece opportunities.
Lasso, 1 goal, 1 assist so far this season. Two-man wall for Charleston. Ball sent in. Over everyone, but there is a foul. Meanwhile, as Patterson went to the floor, free kick over to Charleston. Charleston Battery has an entire new line of merchandise for their new era here at Patriots Point. Go to shop.charlestonbattery.com for the latest jerseys, t-shirts, hats, and more. Battery hoping that new era leads to a victory here in Group H, and a win tonight would be one step towards that. The Rowdies will look to respond in the final 30 minutes here from Patriots Point. Again, Battery 7 matches unbeaten, trying to make it 8. Big part of that run they have made here in Group H. Lasso takes care of this one with the clearance. 59 of them entering tonight. Crawford back over to Kuzminski. Patterson stuck in traffic, coughs it up. Guenzati. Guillen. Maduro. Now Scarlett. Jamaican defender sends it down the right flank. Johnson works it in there. Knocked back by Patterson, and Charleston back in business.
Tampa Bay Rowdies trying to find a way back into this match, Chris, and the shape has been the topic of conversation all night long. Again, past couple matches going to that flat three up top. Well, they've moved it again to try and get a hold of this midfield and find a way to get their wingers back involved, who have pretty much dissipated for the entire run of play for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Damo Duro sitting deeper as Lewis Hilton and Jordan Doherty have stepped up in. Doherty started on that front line with Guenzati and Steinberger, and with the substitution of Murphy and Johnson. Of course, Johnson going out to the right, Kyle Murphy sitting alongside Guenzati. Much more advanced roles for Lewis Hilton than we've seen under the Rowdies. Of course, Doherty more than capable of it, but that gives the opportunity stuff like this. Damo Duro has to sit by himself, so you're getting the pinch of Zico Lewis starting to step inside. Angelo Kelly, Robbie Crawford just allowed to dance on the ball, and it's allowing the Battery to dictate play pretty much whatever direction they please.
Patterson, a flick over the top. Scarlett there, contending against Zaracostas, but not really much there for Broadley. It was Neil Collins, the Rowdies head coach, that made 2 subs at the break, trying to spark this offense. Instead now, it's the Battery with a 1-0 lead on the Lewis tally, and straight up the middle of the box. We're hearing a third substitution to come for Coach Collins as the Battery back the other way. Crawford, the end line, flicks it back in. Rittmeyer. Crawford gets the touch he wanted. It's a corner kick for the Battery as Johnson is down. Quickly back up though. Here's one of those players that subbed on at the break for Tampa Bay.
Corner kick coming up for your Charleston Battery. Make some noise, fans.
Now Crawford. 2 shots, 1 created chance so far tonight. Back post headed away. Patterson. Loro in there, grabs it despite the contact from Rittmeyer, and he punts it. Kelly, a brief touch, but it's Guillen bringing it down. Johnson on the run, down the right flank. Stopped by Lewis. A throw in for the Battery. Still alive with the Rowdies. Quick turn, and Patterson sends it back downfield. Guillen. Scarlett. Johnson stepping up is Oduro. Doherty. Johnson trying to get around Rittmeyer, and it's Charleston drawing the foul. Rittmeyer standing tall in there. And here is a substitution, 3rd of the day for Tampa Bay, and it is Adam Najam coming in for Doherty.
Great job by Nico Rittmeyer down in the corner just a second ago against Malik Johnson, and Adam Najam. Is he the heir apparent to take over the number 10 type role for the Tampa Bay Rowdies? They went out and got him because they think he is. You know, the problem is when they picked him up, just doesn't have that game fitness. You're looking at a guy coming up to the Philadelphia Union after his great career with Akron. Union, Bethlehem Steel, 901 FC last year. Spent the earlier portion of 2020 in Poland. Not a lot of reps, only a handful. Makes his way back to the States. You know, the Afghanistan men's national team at the international level, where he can do everything asked of what that Andrew Tenori type role was, and even better, They just have to get him to full fitness, and right now he doesn't have it. So Neil Collins, inside 30 minutes to go, you can let him run crazy because he's got that in the bank right now.
Hilton stepping up, service in, but Archer got the stop there. Cicero knocked away on the brief touch by Oduro. Najam, 2016 MAC Player of the Year at Akron. Native of New Jersey.
The key question for the Rowdies right now, Chris, will be, they had gone to that single pivot with Dom Oduro at the bottom. Hilton and Doherty in front. Now that Najam steps in, do they go back to the 2 and put Najam up top, or are they going to try and go after this thing? Plenty of time left, but you also have to be careful because the Battery have been so good counterattacking right up through the spine of this Rowdies defense.
Johnson to the top of the box. Najam lays it off. And back with Rittmeyer. Crawford, Kelly. Rittmeyer keeps that in, gets it off of Johnson. Patterson and the Battery taking their time here as they're getting set to make a sub of their own here on the near sideline. More of the attacking variety as Cicero, his night will be done. On comes Bosua. And Marini also coming on in the place of Rittmeyer.
Substitution for your Charleston Battery in the 68th
Two subs
minute.
now for
Coming out, number 7, Nico Rittmeyer. And in, number 9, Arthur Bashua. Also out, number
Volley
13,
chance out of play.
Lauro
It's a goal kick for
Cicero.
Loro.
It's pretty
And in for the
predictable
Battery,
from
number
Mike
19,
Anhauser, as
Dante
we mentioned a
Marini.
few times. So many pieces to this puzzle that he can interchange. Marini and Bashua, 2 of them. The usual list of characters coming in, and this is just fresh legs. Continue to apply the pressure with the shape change of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. It has afforded a bit more space out here on the wings. There's a good look at A.J. Patterson, and just look at all the bodies in or around the top of the 18. It's one thing I got to give them a lot of credit for tonight, the Charleston Battery. When they've gone forward, they've done it in waves of attacks, because it's also that offensive defending, Chris, where when you start to throw numbers forward, if the attack breaks down, your line is so high, it's that much more difficult for the Rowdies to play out of the back.
Foul called on the push-off. It will be staying with the Rowdies here in the 70th minute. Rowdies getting us going once again pretty quickly. Bashua, 1 goal, 1 assist this season after 6 goals tallied last year in his 29 appearances. Crawford wins that back. Charleston, they played with the lead in the match against the Miami FC. Their last outing, fortunately gave up a goal late and lost 2 points because of it. A huge 3 points here at Patriots Point. They're able to hold on here. 20 minutes remaining, plenty of time for the Rowdies as they get this throw-in. Now Johnson. Najam. Murphy lays it in there, but Najam not making the run, and it's on back to Charleston. Download the Charleston Battery app or go to Twitter to cast your vote for the Heineken Man of the Match. Now Lewis, our goal scorer. Into the box, Lewis lays it off. Crawford's still there. Goes down and loses the ball to the double team, waiting a bit too long for that chance.
That's Robbie Crawford not having a left foot to rely on, trying to go all the way to the right side.
On back with the Battery. Kelly flicks it on, trying to lob it in, but nothing there.
Let's go back for a sec, Chris. You gotta vote in your mind for the way the match has gone, man of the match. A lot of impressive performances for the Battery so far.
I mean, that's the thing. It's tough to choose. I know the fans at home will have a special place in their heart for Lewis after that great run into the box, but
I'm going on the other side of the ball. I'm actually going with Van Schaik. He's been the most consistent on the ball, distribution and coming out of the back. He's really forced all the opposition that I've come through in an inappropriate direction. I mean, he's done his homework. He's pushing them all to their weak foots. Notice all the pressure on the back of Kyle Murphy, Guenzati. And that's not just him feeding it in a one-on-one situation. That's his communication as well. You know, we have the luxury of getting multiple angles and watching how this plays out, but also statistically, the team itself, now obviously we've just made subs, but 9 out of 11 at the 65th minute. Over 80% passing accuracy. 7 of them, were over 85. Van Schaik, the only one in the 90s who was at 95, by the way. That 40-yard ball he just gave away moments ago was one that he really hasn't. I mean, he's just been so good on that back line.
Hilton giving the ball away. Van Schaik, one clearance and leading his side today with 4 interceptions to this point as well. Marini now on the left side, just coming on, native out of Chadds Ford, Pennsylvania. A new era for the Charleston Battery, but one of those mainstays playing for Charleston since 2014. Around 120 appearances in USL for Charleston. Now Archer. Through ball, good look here. To the end line, ball sent back over, laying free, Marini slides in there, and it's sent out of play.
It's a difficult take for Dante Marini, and he feels the pressure the entire time. And it's just a last-ditch effort. He understands there's a lot of pace, and he's got to go quickly. And unfortunately, when you get your body into those situations, and you're trying to stretch out full, obviously your tendency from a momentum standpoint is you're going to lean back. Little touch up over the top, and well done by Forrest Lasso, by the way, to try and go the other way quick. He's got to find and really pick up this tempo here. They just seem out of sync, the Tampa Bay Rowdies. I like the changes from Neil Collins so far. You know, he's trying to find a way to get back to their bread and butter. The problem is that they're not even sitting at the table. They don't have that option. No knife in their hand. Hoping they're going to be able to eat tonight, but it's been difficult so far, 75 minutes in.
Hilton puts it in. Deflected back out, Guillen. Trying to get back out to this near wing, but no one there. It's out, Charleston throwing. Hydration break here from Patriots Point. 1-0 Charleston. As Lewis so far the difference maker in this match with his tally, a team leading 5th goal of the season.
In number 23, Sebastian Dalgard.
Slowly working his way up that golden boot race. Got to double it to reach Junior Flemings, but check this out. There's that pressure we talked about. Angelo Kelly splits the line. Sachero drops into the pocket. Zico Lewis, go to work. That's right there. It is not often that you've seen Forrest Lasso get turned around. Watch him pivot in one way, gets his hips going wrong. Quick technical player in tight spaces, brings it back across the body. Pick and choose your poison. Zico Lewis feeds it to him. Spoon-fed in the final third for the Charleston Battery and their number 10 playmaker.
And Lewis stepping up tonight for sure. Romario Piggott, again, out after his injury against the Miami FC. And now, Charleston, about 14 minutes plus stoppage time away from being 3 points closer to the Rowdies at the top of Group H. We do have a substitution meanwhile as Dalgard comes on for his 11th appearance of the season in the stead of Lewis Hilton.
That'll tilt your head a little bit. Pull off one of your central midfielders, and the idea, I would imagine, is bump one up. Shift this into more of a diamond type role where Najam will sit in front of Oduro. Of course, he'll still drop in flat. You retain the wing play, but you go back to a 3 type up top. I just don't see the idea that you're going to bring Dalgard into the interior. You know, he's capable of a lot, but speed and vision down in the channels is more his forte.
Crawford. But at some point, if you are Neil Collins, are you just digging in your bench trying to find someone with some random spark in this? You only have 2 shots, not many chances.
You're spot on. The question that I would have, though, is that, you know, you made the Najam move after 66 minutes, and he's seen enough, basically. He doesn't like this shape in the midfield. I don't blame him, because the whole idea is bring him in. He's the turning point that's going to get everything going in the right direction. That hasn't been the case, and you don't have the luxury of time. And that does give you an idea of the shape right now. There's Najam and Oduro sitting a bit more flat. Of course, Leo Fernandez still out on that left-hand side, and now you've got Fernandez and Dalgard that can work off of each other. And you've got to start throwing bodies forward, and that's exactly what Neil Collins is trying to do.
Here's Scarlett. Moving sideways, unable to break through the battery at this moment, at least. Najam once more. Intercepted, back the other way. Now Kelly. Kelly breaking through. Marini. They'll lay it off. Crawford lays it over. It was Fernandez the touch there, still bouncing around. And out of the chaos, maybe the Rowdies finding an opportunity. Dalgard goes down. Guenzati tried to hold up, but it is a foul. This is coming back.
Got to be something special from here. I can't see Adam Najam pulling the trigger from 40 yards out.
That'd be something.
I mean, maybe no wall, no goalkeeper. Play crossbar, have a little fun.
Najam flicks it in there, left side. At the end line, headed away by Archer. Sure thing, but it is a corner kick for the Rowdies here in the 80th.
And just use this, Chris, not only to your advantage to try and get a set-piece opportunity, but keep the battery here as well. Constantly making you backtrack. You're the Rowdies. Get a shot off, get a goal, that's great, but keep them here. Don't let the pressure wane.
Service in, brought down. Dalgard's there, headed back by Kelly. Big collision. A foul is called, free kick. And what else? A yellow card.
Broadly not happy with Zaracostas. There's pressure for sure, but watch.
Number 16, Stavros Zaracostas.
You gotta feel a bit hard done if you're Zaracostas. Little 50-50 challenge, they're both going for it. Don't see the studs come up. Argument would be his momentum coming through the player, but that's part of the tackle, right?
I was gonna say, it looked like he had the foot on the ball the last second there. As Charleston will be making a substitution here. There Costas coming off for Ibarra, native of San Diego, California, at 22 years old, his second appearance overall here in 2020.
And in for the battery, number 18, Jesus Ibarra.
Nonetheless, free kick to Tampa Bay here in the 82nd, trying to equalize. Flicked on, dangerous one cleared by Archer, still alive. Now Dalgard. Guillen. Numbers stay forward for Tampa Bay. Now Johnson, missed tackle by Kelly. Johnson end line, puts it in and cleared away. It seemed like it was Van Schaik that was there. Indeed it was. It's a corner kick.
Good job though. Tampa Bay Rowdies recycling this chance. Can't find the initial threat. Aaron Guillen spreads it out wide. Malik Johnson goes to work, gets down to the byline, whipped into the near post. Van Schaik. Do not underestimate how good he is on that back line. Been so active all night long.
Service in, headed on, but over the target. Goal kick. It was Lasso that was there.
You know, the battery, conversely, just slow this thing down. Some life starting to come back into the Tampa Bay Rowdies. If you can, start to suck some of the air out of this game. Inside 10 minutes to go, you've worked so hard to get this far. Give yourself a chance to grab that 3 points. That's what we said coming in. They've done that. Physically, you're starting to get beaten up. Mentally, just stay locked in. Rely on your goalkeeper. Listen to Van Schaik. The fresh legs and the outlet pass of the substitutes coming in.
Guenzati into the box. Tripped up on his own dribble a bit there. Here comes Charleston. Marini. Ibarra. A good look here, but a bit too much heat on it for Marini.
Check out this little shape change again. Tampa Bay Rowdies going four at the back now. Jordan Scarlett, Lasso and Guillen paired alongside Leo Fernandez, and that's where the switch was. Thought they would stay with three, to be honest, but they're nervous about the counterattack, and Neil Collins did it at the 77th minute. 13 minutes to go. Now they're inside 10. You've got Dalgard out on the wing and still flat in the middle here. I would love to see one more piece in the midfield. The problem is not only are they not getting play in there, once they are getting up top, they don't have the options, and that's Neil Collins' concern. He's got to find a way to get his threatening pieces up top involved in the run of play. Find the feet of Guenzati, get Kyle Murphy in space, use him in hold-up play. He was great for the opening 10 minutes, but he started to disappear.
Through ball, Dalgard end line gets it in there. Johnson waiting, but Patterson gets a touch to it. And we will have a stop here as it is. Johnson getting called for a handball. On the road, can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC, North America's only 24/7 source of soccer radio, featuring Ray Hudson, Tony Meola, and Rodney Marsh. Fans of the USL can now listen to the best matches of the week, along with action from MLS, the Premier League, and the UEFA Champions League. Sirius XM FC, channel 157 on your Sirius XM radio and the Sirius XM app. Charleston on the attack. Lewis eyeing things up. Moves it over right side. Flicked in, Marini trying to get there, and instead it is Scarlett that heads it away, back to Kelly. Dalgard sending it as far as Gadula up the field.
Just look at the space though, Chris. Look in the midfield. Guenzati's finally dropping back in, but it's a 15-yard gap for Crawford and Kelly to do whatever they want with the ball. Hold up play, side to side, they're doing everything.
Ibarra, it's a low one in there, not much doing as Lasso cleared. Van Schaik on back to Kuzminski. Archer back to his keeper as Charleston tries to close this one out. Would be their 8th match unbeaten. More importantly, their 2nd victory over the Rowdies. Patterson.
As a reminder, fans, please keep at least 6 feet of social distance as you leave your seats at the end of the match.
Kelly flicks it forward, gets it on back. Marini to his left, that's where he goes. Lewis. Crawford to the right flank. Gadula. Kelly. Ibarra. Ibarra strikes it off of Lasso. And it's another corner for Charleston. Make it number 9.
Ibarra looks like the one that's
Make some
gassed
noise,
everybody
fans.
on the Tampa Bay
Corner
Rowdies.
kick coming up for your
Chasing side to
Charleston
side. I mean, they are
Battery.
getting worked right now. You would think inside 5 minutes to go, there'd be a different intent coming out of the visitors, trying to find a way to get an equalizer. And look, even Forrest Lasso, hands on the knees, tired boys. Put in a long shift so far and got to dig deep if you can find an equalizer.
Flips it in near post and deflected just wide. Goal kick for Loro. And the thing is for the Rowdies too, after this match, they're back in action Wednesday at Atlanta 2, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time start. Charleston, they get just over a week off.
There's that game in hand that we talked about, right?
Exactly.
The midweeks and apply a bit more pressure. Good news for the Rowdies is after that, they'll experience one of those 10-day layoffs as well. They'll go on the road to Miami FC and, of course, close out on October 3rd at Outlang against the Charleston Battery, hoping that that won't be the penultimate match to decide their fates, but perform like this, it might be. Not the best we've seen out of the Tampa Bay Rowdies this year.
Patterson with the drag down, pretty clear yellow card there to the left back. And a key opportunity here for Tampa Bay, trying to make something out of it here in the 89th.
Everything so far has been a back post run for Forrest Lasso. And, there's two schools of thought, Chris. One, you keep giving the same look. If it doesn't work one time, fool me once, fool me twice, that sort of thing. But needing something when none of your attacking options are stepping up right now, I'm most inclined to say knock it back to the same spot and let Forrest Lasso go up and get it.
Fernandez, service in. Still alive in there. Brought down by Lasso, but it is cleared by Patterson. Time dwindling for the Rowdies. Scarlett. Aduro. Whips it in there, brought down. Kuzminski off his line to grab it. Gwenzati nearly settling a shot. As we enter our stoppage time of 4 minutes here, presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
4 minutes. Presented by MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
Might have been one of the best chances we've seen for the Rowdies in terms of distance to goal all night long. It's a tough ask, though, out of Seba Gwenzati. In traffic, bring that down. Well whipped in ball. A lot of pace behind it, and just couldn't cradle it in. And again, Rowdies just gifting these balls back to the Battery. How much have they had to chase here in the second half?
Ibarra, right at the end line, keeps it in play. Looking up. Headed down, they want the handball, nothing coming. It's back to Tampa Bay. And that one is called a foul. Scarlett giving it up. Now Kelly.
Super smart. Check him killing this game off. No need to push it. Just dance on the ball. Maintain possession. Marini will do the same. Kelly will come back over and help out. Go to the corner. Let the Rowdies come and get it.
They did come and get it, but give up the foul. Johnson called for it, and now a free kick in the corner with about 2 minutes of stoppage time remaining. Frustration settling in for Neil Collins and his squad. Yet to register a shot on target in the match tonight.
This is night and day from the Charleston Battery compared to the 1-0 win back on August 29th that handed the Tampa Bay Rowdies their first defeat of the season. And I have no problem saying this right now, Chris. This is the best performance of the season we've seen from the Charleston Battery. It's one of the best performances I've seen from an individual team all season long, resumption or play or not. This made a statement right now. Minute and a half to see it out, but you have said to everybody in the USL Championship Eastern Conference, we are here to stay. This was not a fluke. We've now done it twice. We hold the better run of form in the series for a reason. They dominated almost every aspect of this game from start to finish. Mike Anhauser is going to be really happy with how well his squad has done. Backline did their job. Joe Kuzminski made a couple saves. Think about how well Angelo Kelly and Robbie Crawford played in the middle to speed things up and slow it down. That front four, fantastic all night long, constantly changing their shape. Moves down into the corners. Rotation inside from Zico Lewis on the goal. And for the Tampa Bay Rowdies, back to the drawing board for sure. You give up. Now you're still in the driver's seat. The problem is you really have no momentum. You know, you looked semi-decent against Philadelphia Union 2. 3 goals from set-piece opportunities against Miami. And now this. Not the best display. Now an offside call. You have to regroup quickly because, as you mentioned, right around the corner, Wednesday, September 16th, on the road at Atlanta United 2. They get 10 days at Miami FC. And then October 3rd, run it back for the 4th time. Tampa Bay Rowdies will host the Charleston Battery at Al Lang, 7:30 to finish the season off.
Matches 2 and 3 here at the top of Group H, and it goes the way of Charleston once again here at Patriots Point as the Battery give the Rowdies their second loss of the season. And hey, the Battery 3 points behind the Rowdies with a match in hand.
Charleston Battery's next match will be right here on Patriots
and our Heineken man of the match, the goal scorer, Zico Lewis.
Deserves it. You could put Van Schaik in there.
We'll see you there.
You know, a couple others that can throw their name in the hat. But Zico Lewis, his goal in the 54th minute off the fantastic interchange with Cicero. Sees him end up on the score sheet again. Sharing a little laugh with Jordan Scarlett. Say, yeah, I wined and dined that back line tonight. And you better believe I got a quality goal to push our boys out in front.
Group H battle goes the way of the Charleston Battery. We'll break it down for you after this. Highlights and stats next. 1-0 Battery.
So how is it?
Great.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete, you're obsessed, you're in love, you're in pain, spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity, because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat. You're not alone. You're supported, pushed, tested, tried, true, broken, fixed, and put back on track to do it all again. Your road is long, on open highway, completely secluded, jammed with traffic, horns blaring, sirens screaming, speed limit, near misses, head-on collisions, body shops, rest stops, so many tolls to pay. Your destination isn't a place, it's a record, a dance, a feeling. Hands in the air, stands on their feet, joy all around. Because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health, Sports Medicine.
The moment was calling the Charleston Battery tonight at home, and they really answered it. 1-0, a brilliant defensive performance, Devin, matching that one goal from Zico Lewis as we get set to check out our full-time highlights.
We just said for the Charleston Battery coming in, replicate what they were able to do in the opening 15, 20 minutes and go all game long. Yeah, they did that. Check this out. Zico Lewis, 54th minute. Beautiful build-up play and just spreading the Tampa Bay Rowdies so thin. Breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. Bottom corner, 1-0, Charleston Battery. Front four, fantastic. Back four, fantastic. Joe Kuzminski threw his name in there as well. Really good stuff, Tampa Bay Rowdies. You know, a couple opportunities off the corners. Everybody's looking for Forrest Lasso, and you know it. The chances coming down the stretch, always looking for the bearded man. Unfortunately, sends this one off over the top. This is probably, you know, one of the better looks that the Battery were in the second half after the goal. A lot of pressure being built up. Not a boatload of chances, but they were challenging the Rowdies. This was the best chance for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. Great ball whipped in here by Jordan Scarlett. If you've never been in this position, it's almost impossible. Now, is it impossible? No, I say it's almost impossible because if you don't drop this in and cradle it perfectly, you have no secondary chance to get to it. The Rowdies, yep, you know, they give up a bit of ground. Charleston Battery get back in again. The game in hand is the key factor here. Goal differential, games won, you know, that can all come into play if need be. Right now, all that matters is Tampa Bay Rowdies still in the driver's seat. And I say that because Battery still have to chase. Conversely, you could look at it and say, oh, well, they have the game in hand. Yeah, you still have to go out and get those points. The Rowdies have already done it. They lose twice on the year, both of them to the Charleston Battery.
And the Battery now, of course, trying to make that run at a home match in the playoffs as we head towards the USL Championship playoffs here in 2020. For our entire crew alongside me, Devin Kerr, I'm Chris Pekovic. Thank you for joining us here for this Friday night USL Championship action. Again, it will be Phoenix and Las Vegas coming up next here on ESPN+. Battery take it 1-0. They're 3 points behind first as we head deeper into this 2020 season.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.